There he is. Ooh. I feel like this fish is acting way bigger than he is. Welcome back, everybody. It is an absolutely gorgeous morning. We're out fishing a lake. I don't know if I've fished yet this year. I definitely haven't taken the boat out on. Fishing the smallest swim bait I could find on the internet. It's a Gan Craft jointed claw 70. So 70 millimeters. That's, I think, almost 2 3/4 inches, something like that. 4.6 grams, which I don't know what that means in ounces, but I think it's right around an eighth, maybe a little bit heavier. But we're throwing it on our light tackle that we had bought not too terribly long ago. This is an expensive bait. I think it's almost 30 bucks, which is crazy. I mean, swim baits are always expensive, but typically we're using leaders of like 4 and 6 pounds, and I'm not messing around with it today because I really don't want to lose this. So we'll bump it up to 8, but this will be fun. I've never fished a swim bait this small by any means. Hopefully we get in some bass. I wouldn't be surprised if a crappie or something like that ate this also, but let's get after it. All right, first cast. It does sink, so we have to be mindful of that so we don't end up losing this. And there are quite a bit of stumps in here. I don't know how well the action will work just from how small it is. I don't know if it'll catch water and actually swim well or not. Oh, had one on the first cast though. Twitching almost just like a jerk bait. But that's a good sign. Oh, right next to the boat. Look at that. 2 bites on the first cast. Hopefully that is not what we are going to have all day. I mean, this is the smallest swim bait I've ever used, so this has to be probably the smallest swim bait fish I've ever caught. And we definitely have the pliers out because this could get hairy real quick. We'll go and grab those. All right, first one, tiny little guy, but 2 fish on the first cast. I'm not mad at it. I don't know exactly how to fish it, but whatever we did worked, so let's keep after it. So that is the kind of the action that it has on a straight retrieve. It's kind of more of a bit of a glide. Doesn't really chop a whole lot, but when you twitch it, it's more of like a jerk bait. It's not necessarily like a glide bait that you can really go side to side super well. The more line you have out, the much wider that swim gets, but that's kind of what she looks like. Got one. And that was just on the reel. No twitching. So they will eat it. Oh, and that's a gill. I was thinking like the size of this is an absolutely perfect bait for, you know, I feel like crappie, trout even. Didn't think we'd end up with a gill on a swim bait. Not even a big gill. That's maybe 6 3/4. Straight retrieve. Little bluegill hunting it down. That's awesome. Let's see if we can't get some bass though. I have to imagine a decent sized bass will eat this. Maybe not a big one, but there's some big fish in this pond. They're pretty far and few between though. Oh, thought we had another one. Oh, got him. Saw that thing wake out of super shallow water. It probably is, I don't even know if it's probably like a foot back there. Not a big one, but the biggest of today by a long shot. Come on, buddy. Don't have those hooks tear out. There we go. Oh. Get out here a little bit. Not a big one. Probably like a, I mean, it's a skinny looking 14. Probably, but on super light tackle, tiny little swim bait, we had them just skin hooked with 2 of those. These are tiny little hooks. Let me get a pair of pliers real quick. There we go. Not bad. If we can't catch a few more of those, I'd be pretty happy. All right, let's go ahead and let them go. Super shallow water. Threw in there 2 cranks and just saw the big old wake. I wasn't sure I was gonna get it. I thought we scared it, but feel our line. Don't want to end up losing this like we did our popper. See if we can get some more. Oh, there's one. Oh, little bass. Little guy. Oh my. He definitely wanted it. Why can't you always hook like big fish like this? Like no chance that they're gonna come undone. I don't even understand how it's possible that they get this many hooks in them. One thing we probably do have to be careful with is not bending these really thin wire hooks out. He was not coming off, that's for sure. There we go. Just a little one. But that is our 3rd bass of the day. And then 1 bonus bluegill. Still waiting for a decent sized crappie to come up and get this thing. Ooh, we got a little bit of fray, so we won't make a mistake and we'll go ahead and cut and retry. Oh, there's one. Almost right at the surface, and there's our crappie. I knew it was possible. I don't know how he... Alright, we had to let that one go quick, because that one, I don't know how in the world it's possible, but that one sucked it down so quickly on a fast retrieve, but should be okay. But didn't want to keep it out of the water too long. All right, I think we've got every fish in this, every species in this pond. I don't think there's anything else. Bass, bluegill, crappie, I think that's it. Now we just have to try and catch a decent one. Oh, that was a better crappie. That was on the paws. Saw him come up and smoke it. Seemed to be a couple here. See if we can't do that again. That one was a bigger one than the first one. Holy cow. I don't know what that was, but that was insane. It was just sitting there, just sinking, and all of a sudden just smoked it, pulled drag. I assume that was a bass, just a little one that had a lot of fight in them, but holy cow. Oh, got him. That's probably a bass. Is that a crappie? That's a crappie. That's a good crappie. Wonder if that last one was a crappie too. I thought we would end up with some crappie today. It's a decent crappie. You could definitely fillet that one. All right, found a little crappie hole. I ended up buying some other micro plastics and stuff. I guess hard baits too. So we might have to come back out here and see if we can't catch some more. Crappie seem to like it on the paws a little bit more. There he is. Right on shore. Oh, pulled off. Maybe it's a crappie. I don't think so though. There he is. Ooh. I feel like this fish is acting way bigger than he is. I'm guessing a pound, but pulling pretty hard though. Don't yep. Just about a pound, but acted tough. Why are you fighting so hard? Oh boy. Oh my. There we are. Come on, tiny little treble. Get out of there. Just by the skin. There. Well, there's another one. I don't even know if that's probably not even quite a pound. Pretty close, but he fought harder than a lot of 2-pounders, that's for sure. There he is. Bluegill? What is that? Holy cow. That might be smaller than the first one. That's so close to half. They just don't care. They will eat anything that they can. It's hilarious. There's one. Oh, I still got him. Just a little guy. I lost him for a second. Oh, crappie again. Little crappie. Healthy looking one. All right. Let's see if we can catch some more. I'm still waiting for one good one. One of the crappies wasn't too bad. I'm waiting for like a relatively, 2-pound bass. 12-inch crappie, something like that. There's one. Little bass or crappie? I'm saying crappie, but it is, nope, bass, wrong. There we go, another little one. This is a ton of fun. Again, if you haven't gotten into big swim baits, it can most certainly be a feast or famine sort of deal, to where you might only have a couple bites. Obviously, you're going to hope that they're going to be good bites, but if you're trying to get into swim bait fishing and just learn, not a bad way to do it, because you're going to have way more success and have way more bites to like learn what does work, what doesn't work, versus going out and fishing big swim baits, getting super discouraged because you only have one bite all day long, and you know, don't necessarily have the patience for it, or think you're doing something wrong. So definitely not a bad way to learn, just using any sort of micro lure, like smaller version of, you know, what you would for big bass. But should be a fish right up here, right off this little corner. A little bit of wind. Oh, and there was the fish. Oh, small. Oh, that one is too. I wonder if these are bluegill. There are some pretty decent sized bluegill in this pond, so, but makes sense for them to sit right there. Oh, that one smoked it. That's definitely got to be a bass. Yep. Right off that little grassy point. Well, ambush point, right where for the bass to be able to pick up some bait fish. And that's what he was shooting to do. Let's see. There we go. Bottom jaw ones are always the worst. Would definitely recommend a pair of needle nose if you're going out fishing with baits like this. There's another one though. Got him. Out in the middle, are you a crappie? I think so. Yeah, you are. That's a good crappie. Again with the tiny treble. There we go. Oh, rolling right up on our stump. We caught this guy off of, I'm sure there's probably more. No. Oh gosh. Just keeps getting rehooked. Oh. Stop. Well, that was a bigger fish. These trebles are just so sharp. There we go. That's a good crappie. That's definitely one you could take and fillet. We just went right over the stump that we caught that one on, so well, that's unfortunate. Another one. This one feels a little bit better, bigger than the last one at least. Again, not even 30-40 seconds. Is this a crappie or is this gonna be a bass too? Well, good to know you can also troll this thing if trolling's legal. Where you guys are at, what do we got? There's the crappie. That's what we were shooting for. Again, just all the hooks. There we go. And of course we hooked it again. There we go. Another one. That's what we were shooting for when we were trolling, but see if we can't get some more. This thing can do a little bit of everything. I don't know that I would troll a $30 swim bait very often, but I guess if you want to, it works. And another one. This might be the most effective way to catch fish. I don't really troll that often just because I bass fish, but for crappies, I assume that's what this is again. I mean, this is 3 crappie in a matter of not even 40 yards. Getting a little close to shore, but stay hooked up. Oh, another crappie. That's a good one. That's one of the better ones for today. Definitely a keeper. Can we get you without the pliers? There we go. Definitely can fillet that one. This, I thought we'd catch crappie today. I didn't think we'd catch crappie trolling because I wasn't anticipating doing that, but we might have to do a catch and cook out of this place with just trolling for crappie. There's one. Was that a little bass? Tiny. Whatever you are. Oh, a bluegill. The 2 bluegill we've caught today have not been very big, and this pond does have some big bluegill, so I was kind of surprised we didn't get more of those. There we go. Little one. It's like a 6-inch or 5.5. Tiny. Well, that's it for today. We ended up catching a fair number of fish, every species that comes out of this pond, so that was cool. Nothing really all that big. The crappies were decent sized, but the bass were pretty small. As far as the bait goes, I'm happy that we still have it. It's a $30 bait, so if I would have lost it on the first trip, I'd have been pretty upset about that. But the hooks didn't bend out with small hooks and small gauge. I always worry about that, but they held strong. I don't think it's worth the $30 unless you're hardcore into finesse fishing, like BFS or something of that sort, just because, you know, it is pretty expensive for such a small bait. But the attention to detail for it, and it clearly works really, really well. So if you are into finesse fishing and willing to spend the money, I don't think it's a bad bait at all. We'll have to come back out to this pond another time, fish some of the other finesse baits that I have. That they're pretty interesting also, but we might have to come out and try this again and just troll around and see how many crappie we can end up catching and do a catch and cook. But as always, if you guys like the finesse videos, by all means drop that in the comment section below. If you like the video, if you wouldn't mind liking, and as always, if you want to see more videos like it, if you wouldn't mind subscribing, that'd be greatly appreciated also. Till the next one.